Yay, we live. We live. Yes.
Another Monday. Yes, we got it back. The energy. Woo!
I know we need it. We
Yes.
need it.
Oh my God. We need this energy.
Man.
It's been a long weekend. I
Mm.
feel like Mondays come fast now though. So where we just had a Monday. But
We did. Yes, literally.
I enjoy Mondays now because I look forward to Monday Night Live.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You ready? Are you ready? Are
Girl,
you ready?
I'm always ready for this. Woo, I don't even know what to call it. Shout out to your St. Louis City folks. They brought, see, last time it was, the county. But this time I feel like St. Louis City is not disappointing us.
Oh gosh. Here you go. Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to the new president of the Board of Aldermen. Shout out to Megan Green. She
Yeah.
is shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to Madam President. And that kind of messed me up a little bit during this meeting on Friday because I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. She is the president of Board of Aldermen.
She is. That she is now.
Yes, Madam President. Shout out to Madam President.
The people spoke. The people voted for her, and the people said that's what I wanted, and that's what I got.
So
shout out to voting.
Shout out to voting. So y'all, we're gonna start off with the city highlights. There's only really one. If you want to call it a highlight. So all right.
Now, you don't even know how to get into it, huh?
I know, because it's so y'all, there's a lot going on. There was a HUD's committee meeting. It was like over 3 hours long. It discussed like 6 different bills that, if passed, would provide some development, with some being on the north side. So I'm like, cool, we got different things going on. And then Friday rolls around, which is the Board of Aldermen meeting, full Board of Aldermen meeting. We got the new Board of Aldermen president,
yes,
spearheading the meeting. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get it. New leadership, new energy. She hit it off. The meeting saying, hey, y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm your girl. I'm it. And I know not all of y'all endorse me, you know what I'm saying? But it's cool. It's cool. I ain't tripping.
I ain't tripping.
Because at the end of the day, we all got to work together for the betterment of the city of St. Louis. I was like, cool. Everybody did their little clap. They was clapping in their little squares and stuff. So I'm like, cool.
It definitely deserves a round of applause because she's right. No matter if they endorsed her or not, no matter if they wanted her in that seat or not, the people spoke. She got the votes, and she's in there. And they do have to work together to make sure that they do what they need to do for the people in the city of St. Louis.
Yeah, in our city. So anyways, so they passed some bills, final passage. So I know the bill we spoke to last week about the lighthouse development project. A couple of those bills were finally passed. Also a bill we talked about appropriating, I don't know, however many millions of dollars in ARPA funding to support like neighborhood associations and affordable housing. That mug passed. Okay. So I'm like, cool, okay. Great. Then came time for the resolutions. Now, I really don't be talking about the resolutions like that for real, because resolutions are not the same as, some of these board bills. It's not the same thing. But this particular resolution, Alderwoman Sharon Tyus, she introduced it the week before this past week. And essentially the resolution would tweak some of the rules of the Board of Aldermen, how they run things and how they assign folks committees and all this stuff. And so her change from, again, not this past Friday, but the Friday before, her one change was basically to strike out the word continuous when it comes to seniority of older people, because as we all, well, I know, technically she was elected in like the early 90s, and she kind of got like, I shouldn't laugh, but she basically was was drawn out damn near of her ward. So she couldn't represent her ward for some years, for some time. And so she was able to come back and be reelected. However, because she didn't serve those years continuously or consecutively, it kind of messed up her seat.
Qualified.
Right.
Gotcha.
So she wanted to make that change, and the week before last week when she introduced this resolution, her colleagues were like, well, no, let's not pass this today, because there are some more changes to the rules that we want to make, and it doesn't make sense for us to just make one change when we have all these other changes that we want to look into. So she was like, you know what, cool, I ain't gonna trip, I'm gonna put this on ice for a week, and then y'all give me y'all changes,
Right.
and then in 7 days we gonna vote on it. 7 days came, and so during this meeting, so in addition to the one change, as far as like how seniority is considered, there are also like 7 or 8 additional changes, I think, that she had that would basically not put all of the power and authority within the president of the Board of Aldermen when it comes to choosing committees and all this other stuff. So then her colleagues, some of them were like, no, wait, pause. Let's put this in a committee to discuss it further, because these are our rules and we really need to be sure and specific about, because it's like 8 and 9 amendments.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a discussion, you all. Lasted well over an hour. So I'm gonna play some clips for the people, because I want people to see kind of what it was giving, what was going on. So this first clip I'm gonna play, it's a few minutes long, but it is this is really what kicked everything off. So this is a clip from Alderman Stevens. He represents the 12th ward, I believe. So let's get into this clip, y'all.
Well, I rise in support of sending it back to committee, and the reasons for doing so is because the Alderwoman the first told us last week that she would only be presenting one amendment. Alderwoman, we can go back and roll the footage, and I will make a public apology, but I want to be very clear that, because I believe it was the Alderwoman the 13th who even asked you to yield to confirm that this is what was before us. I'm concerned that the Alderman the 7th presents it as chairman of the Rules Committee, presents it as, we've already discussed this in committee, we've already done this. And yet in this very meeting early on, the Alderman the 1st was accidentally unmuted, was on a phone call with presumably the clerk of the board, asking him or informing him that she would be sending 9 amendments to put in the folder. That was not heard in committee. Those were not heard in committee. This is a power upset and frankly expediency that I have not seen from my colleagues at this board, be they progressive or otherwise. And I want to speak to that too. Alderwoman of the 1st, I have the floor, please. Thank you. Thank you, Alderwoman.
I didn't see.
In my time at this board, and in regards to the motion before us, there's always been calls for transparency. This is not a call for transparency. There's always been party lines within one party, unnecessarily so. I mean, you want transparency now, right? And yet there's going to sneak in 9 amendments, plus a 10 from the Alderman of the 25th, which has also not been put for a formal discussion and public hearing. So I'm also upset about that, under the guise that, well, we've already discussed it. That feels disingenuous. That is not transparent. These were not discussed. Alderman of the 1st, Alderman of the 25th, you both have my cell phone numbers. I've tried to call both of you in the past to discuss things and not receive responses. And you're not the only ones, so please don't feel that I'm only calling you out, but this is absolutely ridiculous. And I ultimately can no longer support anything except sending it back to committee, because it is not transparent. That is a bald-faced lie. It is not transparent to swoop in during the procession of this meeting and say that, oh, well, now we need to change these committee assignment rules, when just 11 days ago, on November 7th, 1:49 p.m., the day before the general election, the clerk of the board sent us an updated list of committee assignments. I mean, we're acting like this doesn't happen. So I Again, I believe there is merit in the amendments before us. I am very upset at the disrespect that is being presented not only to this board, Alderwoman of the First, but to our city by claiming that this is transparent, this is a move for transparency, and Alderman of the Seventh as chairman of the Rules Committee for saying that these were already discussed. And please correct me if I'm misinterpreting your previous statement in this debate, because they have not been discussed. Because in this meeting itself, we know that the Alderwoman of the First had them sent to the clerk to be introduced on the floor. We know that it's incredibly frustrating that we're allowed to say, oh, this is transparency, this is X, Y, Z, this is good governance, when it is anything but. So with that, I stand in support of sending it back to committee. I think it is ridiculous that we now suddenly have such a grand concern with transparency, a grand concern with good governance, and a grand concern with our rules. And with that, I yield back.
Bold-faced lie. Okay. A bold-faced lie.
Oh, wow. That's all I can say is, oh, wow. Oh, wow. And this went on for an hour, though. Like,
yeah, they were going back and forth for an hour. However, you know, Alderwoman Tyers, people out there, if y'all know Alderwoman Tyers, you know she's not just gonna be like,
she ain't backing down.
Hell no, she ain't finna back down. The man called her a liar.
Bald-faced lie. You heard me? He said that's a.
So I'm gonna play this clip because it's a response to that particular comment.
Shout out to Alan.
Is because we have new members that have to be assigned. So that's one thing that's checked off, okay? So when these members had been here for a month or so, and they had not gotten a committee. So that's what happened. You talked about never seeing this on the floor because you just got here. I've been here 30 years. This has been on the floor. In fact, the people that you hang out with were the people who did this on the floor. I want to suggest that the alderman from the 23rd is a little wrong. We had a meeting of the Democratic caucus, and we caucused, which is all Democrats, and we talked about what rules we were going to pass, but we actually don't pass them until the floor of the Board of Aldermen, which we usually do that the third Tuesday of April. We've been doing that for a long time. I would suggest people like yourself, Alderman from the 12th, who don't know what you're talking about and just got here, not call me a bald-faced liar, because that makes me want to tell you who you are, but I'm not. And when you say you've never seen anything on this floor, I'm going to repeat what I told the former alderman from the 21st. We're so lucky that you just got here and you want to tell us what's happened in the last 30 years. But I think I will go along with my memory and these people who are sitting here with me, because again, your posse was the people who were on the floor trying to change things. Ask them about it, okay? Expect, and you're talking about amendments. Once a board bill or a resolution comes out of committee, the correct procedure is to do amendments on the floor. That is why we have perfection, not third reading with board bills. So we can still do amendments on the floor. That is why we have perfection. That's the same thing we do with resolutions. Again, I wish you people would sit down and open up the rules. And sometimes people get them wrong. But when you get ready to call somebody a bold-faced liar, that is who you must be yourself. Because I am not a bold-faced liar. And I think if you ask anybody who serves with me, I have taken the position against my own position with rules.
The board will now come to order.
Madam Clerk,
Please call the roll.
Sorry.
So
that went on, y'all. That went on. Yes, Alan. Shout out to you, Alan. Thank you for joining us. So, y'all, that went on for over an hour. It was a lot of back and forth. And then this is the last clip, and then I'm gonna say a couple things, but this is my last clip. Because this is kind of how I feel like this really sums up all of it. Oh wait, hold on. Let me mute.
And what I want to remind everybody is we don't need to look any worse to the public than we look now. We have a few months to go before we'll have a new session. To undo, scramble, reassign, we don't need a lot of upset. We need to get down to the business of this city. We need to make sure that we put everything in order, most especially impressing upon the administration that we need to get money on the street to help our constituency. We need to clean up all of the problems that we have with negotiation with unions, people not being promoted, you name it, we got it. Worried about a committee, when we are a committee of the whole, the Board of Aldermen is a committee of the whole. Anytime something comes out of a committee and it comes to the floor, we have the ability to debate it and even change the course. So let's not get too different and confused about what we should be doing right now. And I thank you, Alderwoman from the First Ward, because if it was me, I wouldn't have done it. I would have went ahead and had my vote. Thank you.
So again, I want to kind of provide even more context with this. So when we're talking about, what we're talking about is them changing their rules and how they, how they move. Typically, these things are adopted in the very beginning of the legislative session. We are really close to the end of their legislative session, y'all. Because basically, so for all practical purposes, the new session starts like in April after the spring elections. So we're basically in December now. We got the holidays.
Yeah.
So we basically have, a couple, really, maybe 3 months for the city of St. Louis to figure out this ARPA stuff. Obviously, we talked about this in the past, Vanna, that Alderman Davis, she mentioned, issues with people not being promoted in the fire department, a lot of staffing shortages in the city of St. Louis, which is impacting the services we receive.
Yeah.
These conversations around how gun violence can be addressed. I mean,
so many things. Like she said, you name it, they got it. You name it.
So, but I will say this, you all. Again, bear with me because I'm a retired hooper, so I kind of speak in sports analogies. So let me just speak to my people, my city fam out there. So y'all know when you got a team, you got a certain number of spots, right? You got a certain number of spots on the team. So
redistricting, y'all team about to get short.
So in the spring, right now we got 28 spots for the Board of Aldermen. Come April, it's gonna be 14 spots. So how do we, divvy up these spots? We have tryouts and we make cuts based off of how people perform on the tryouts. So I'm telling my St. Louis City fam right now, we are in tryout season, bruh, sis. So I really hope that people start paying attention. Write down notes, put it on your phone, put it on a post-it.
Call your Board of Aldermen. Talk to them. Get to know them. Because I'm sure they're going to be running in April. So they got to run. Every single one has to run, y'all. So it's going to be they trying to get back on the team.
Right. But again, you spending an hour arguing about something like this. So we got a lot of cuts to make, my city fam. So, you know what I'm saying? To be continued. Again, I couldn't even really talk about anything else that happened last week because hell, if they going back and forth,
And then for an hour.
Yeah, for over an hour. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Why am I here? Hell, why am I listening to this?
Shout out. And then, so Kelly, zoom in on that real quick, right? Think about, not to say that your time isn't, valuable, because your time is valuable too. But think about a person who has a family, needs to cook dinner. First of all, ain't these meetings in the daytime?
Yes.
Okay, that part alone. So what if you're at work and you decide that you want to tap in and listen, you take your lunch break, your time will feel very much wasted coming onto a meeting just to hear this back and forth. So y'all wonder why people don't tap in. Because when you do, what am I watching? How beneficial is it for me to sit here and watch y'all going back and forth for an hour?
To keep it a buck, and I really don't be talking about the foolery, but honestly, I watched this show. Shout out to my brother, Kendall McGowan. I watched this reality TV show. It's called Chasing.
Oh, yes.
They had their second reunion special, and it's funny because literally I watch it on YouTube.
It is hilarious.
So I'm listening to them. I'm like, damn, am I still watching Chasing? Is this still on my little? Because this is they going back and forth like
definitely like a TV drama series. I swear, it'd be like, is this our government? It can't be.
It is. It is.
So our government.
So my city fam, again, please.
Yes. Tap in, y'all.
It is tryouts. We are in tryout season, and some cuts will have to be made. So that's all I gotta say. And yes,
Alan said everyone wants to be a housewife.
Unfortunately, so.
Housewives of the government.
Oh Lord. Hey, that, maybe that, I mean, clearly. So, but I really hope, and then we're going to get to our county people here. But in closing, I really hope that with this new president of the Board of Aldermen, there is some new energy. But it seemed like it's given the same energy, and we don't need that. We need our elected officials to come together, to work together as a collective, because it's a whole hell of a lot of problems that we have going on right now, and no one has time to witness this. This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
It pissed me off as a city resident, and it made me very embarrassed and frustrated. We got to do better. And again, this is tryout season. Some of these mofos, they're going to have to get cut. And that's all I've got to say. All right. You ready for the county?
Oh, God. As ready as I could be, because, man, I mean, I don't think we pulled out too much in this week. So y'all took the hat off this week. Shout out to St. Louis County.
So yeah, so again, we don't have too much. Not as fiery, and people calling folks bold-faced liars.
That was really
old-faced.
Wow.
And of all the people,
I would honestly have to say though, she did take that a little bit kind of because I don't know, like, how you go serious and say something like that? I don't know.
Well, it got worse. Like I played part of a clip. It kind of got habitually worse.
Wow.
As we kept going. But let's get into these county highlights, y'all. So first and foremost, St. Louis County, they're gonna be working with the city to improve public transportation in our region, which I think that's a good move. So in the city of St. Louis for years, there's been this north side, south side study looking to, expand public transportation and transit options. Again, obviously going north to south in the city. And St. Louis County, apparently, they're like, yo, we need to be in on this, right? We need to be included in this because they have issues. I know in North County, it's very challenging for folks that don't have transportation and have to utilize bi-state or Metrolink. It can be real sometimes. So, so they will be partnering with the city of St. Louis to really look at this again from a regional perspective.
Okay, come on.
and they'll try to, identify some alternatives that can extend into North County, and it'll also include an assessment of additional transit service in South County. I wonder, interesting to have that conversation with some South County residents about how they feel about that. Ultimately, so when I'm talking about St. Louis, so specifically I'm referring to St. Louis County Department of Transportation and Public Works. So these quotes come from a letter they wrote to Chairwoman Retta Days, just to say, hey, we about to be in this mug working with the city on this to make things better for everyone. So their plan is, they're hiring a couple of consultants to get the ball rolling with this. And they hope to have some type of a plan as far as some transit alternatives by fall of 2023. So next year. And I know included in this, Shavannah, is engagement with the public. Nah, she just done took a sip. Hell no.
Girl, I can't wait to see. Let me be optimistic. I can't wait to see what this community engagement looks like. Oh wow, I'm so excited.
So but all in all, again, I don't know what the community engagement piece is gonna look like, but all in all, don't you think this is a good look for St. Louis County?
I definitely think it's a good look. I do. I think we should really work together with the city and figure out how we can make transportation more accessible for all. I do even like the whole idea of having some go into South County, because there's a lot of job opportunities in South County for people. And maybe that'll help people get more jobs and employment if they can make it out there to that space. So yeah, I think it's really a good look. Now I really do hope they engage with the community as well, though. So we'll see, though. We'll see.
We will see. To be continued. But yeah, shout out St. Louis County. Look at y'all.
St. Louis County. We trying.
Look at y'all.
Baby steps.
And then
shout out to ARPA.
Yes. I know.
We ran through ARPA like I don't know what.
I mean, yeah. So the county council, they approved spending of $50,000 of ARPA funding to support domestic and intimate partner violence prevention, intervention, education, legal services, and other related services to families and individuals in the 4th district of St. Louis County. So again, yeah, shout out to y'all and Councilwoman Webb.
In the 4th district.
What?
I said I'm not in the 4th district.
Oh, yeah.
But shout out to them.
Yeah. So the $50K, $25,000 will go to St. Louis Survivors Legal Support Inc. and $25,000 will go to Jadasa, which is a nonprofit. Jadasa. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
They are a nonprofit, again, that works in that space to support those that are dealing with domestic violence. So shout out to them for getting those coins to support community. So we looking at maybe 20, I did my bootleg calculations. So maybe $20,000 of ARPA funding is left.
Oh Lord. We started with 193 mil.
Started with a 193 mil and we here. Look at that. Gotta love it.
20K.
What do you think about that?
I said shout out to District 4 because I feel like every time we have an update, money going to District 4. So no shade. Shout out to Councilwoman. Gosh, I cannot think of her name right now.
Webb.
Yes, Councilwoman Webb. I think she's doing her job and she's taking care of her district. So I'm not like, I think that's great. It just amazes me that.
But okay, I'm gonna say this. I ain't trying to cut you off, but I will say this. The fourth district has a lot of unincorporated St. Louis County in it. And to be fair, in some of the other districts, you have a lot of municipalities. And every municipality in St. Louis County got some form of ARPA funding.
They did.
So let me run that back for my people all the way in the back. Anyone out there on the internet, if you live in a municipality,
yes, like Ferguson, Hazelwood, Pagedale, Berkeley, you have your city, Dalewood, your own city got a piece of the pie of ARPA funding. So if you want to know what happened to your city's ARPA funding, please call your mayors or your council folks. Talk to them and ask them what happened to our ARPA money. So that's, you'll know. But yeah, so I again, and like I said, I think she's taking care of her area, and I appreciate that. And I feel like she had a plan. Like she knows what she's going to do with the money. She knows specifically where she's putting it and where it's going for the most part. So shout out to her. And District 4 is in the area, a lot of area cover too that is really underserved.
Yeah.
You're thinking about areas like Castle Point.
Yeah. Like
I'm sure that's probably a lot of domestic violence and things happening in those type of spaces that probably need the resources and help. So I really just hope, those folks who getting the money help these people. Because, I know some other folks had got money towards food and, helping in that space. So, like, again, Castle Point, ain't really too many stores around there. So, really using this money to help these people in these areas, because we know they need it. Castle Point is just one of those spaces over there. So, yeah.
And that's what the ARPA funding, that's what it's supposed to be used for.
That's what it's supposed to be used for.
For places that have been neglected, and obviously COVID, has made it
impacted. Yeah.
So,
yeah, shout out to District 4, shout out to Councilwoman Well for doing what she needs to do for our area. Yeah, shout out to everybody that got some of that ARPA money. Shout out to ARPA. Shout out to Biden. Yeah, we need some more ARPA.
So yeah, y'all. 20 grand left.
20,000. Let's see where this goes. By next week, it's gonna be 0.
So yeah, something we wanted to make sure that people knew about.
20 friendly. Where y'all at? Turn up.
We mentioned this when we were talking about elections and all that. So obviously, recreational marijuana use is legal in our state now. So the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, they are looking for input from community as they kind of roll out like what this usage, like what this is given, what it's going to look like. So definitely go to their website, the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, and you can provide feedback on how they can roll this program out. They have some stuff drafted, and they are seeking input from the public on this plan until November 25th, which is like
a couple of days.
What's today? Today's the 21st.
Yeah.
Is that Friday?
Yeah, I think it is Friday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is Friday. Yeah. Okay.
Friday.
So again, if anyone have any bright ideas, thoughts, feel very passionately about this program and how it rolls out, make sure you provide your feedback till Friday. So
Friday. Announcements.
Yeah, you got anything to share?
Announcements already? Wow.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't. The city people honestly pissed me off. Going back and forth for hours at a time.
I can't say this enough, Kelly. I cannot say this enough. But shout out to you and all you endure in watching these meetings continuously. Oh my God. People do not understand what you have to go through to watch these shows and these. Sometimes it can be very entertaining. But still, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot. So shout out to you.
I appreciate that. Tryout season.
Tryouts. I love that. It's tryouts.
So yeah,
Announce.
what you got, Vanna? Yeah, what you got?
I mean, other than kicking it for a cause, our last one, November 30th, Wednesday. It's a game night edition. If people don't know what's kicking it for a cause, can I give them a quick overview?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell people.
So, kicking it for a cause, it started off as a show that shout out to me, Kelly, and our great Alan Perkins, who was just in the comments and who was our last guest on our previous episode. We came together, did this twist on the town hall. We talked about certain topics. We brought in fun games. We kind of put in a cause to kick it for, right? And so we took this and made it in-person event in June. We started that in June. And I mean, we kicked it off once a month since June, and November here is our last one this year. November 30th at 6 p.m. We'll be at the CAM, Contemporary Arts Museum. I mean, y'all, again, this one is game edition, so we won't really have a discussion. We just gonna be having fun all night because guess what? The holidays is here. I know y'all probably in the kitchen cooking and are preparing to cook, preparing to be around family. You know how that can be. And just taking in the holidays. So we don't want to do all this talking. We want to just get some joy going on and some fun. So we'll be lit at the CAM. Doors open at 6. We'll have all the good food, great games, fun atmosphere. The music gonna be a vibe, networking so you can get to know some people in the community. And yeah, just get out and enjoy people, enjoy each other. So it's been a blast, man. I can't believe this is our last one.
I know. It's insane. And we've really been doing this for a while. So.
We've been kicking it for a cause over a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Over a year. And we said we wanted to have it in person. So it's really awesome to see it blossom into this of what it's been being in person and how fun it is. And how people legitimately enjoy it. So I mean, we're not just saying this, people really enjoy it. So, and you won't know unless you come and enjoy it yourself.
That part. So
come out, y'all. The CAM is a much bigger space. It's still an art gallery, so they got some beautiful art that you can check out as well. And again, come kick it with us. Come have some fun.
Yeah, shout out to Alan. Shout out to AP in the comments. We are just getting started.
Yes.
So it's super exciting. But please come out and also come to the CAM. Shout out to the Contemporary Art Museum.
Yes.
And if you come, you can check out, a gallery, You take pictures, post up, selfie game, Everybody taking having their little pictures and stuff and looking all, suave or whatever, and looking cute. And you can, get you a little fit, pictures, click. And we're going to have some photographers there too.
Yes, take a picture, click.
Hey, I'm just saying, why not?
Why not?
Do that. Perfect backdrops. We're gonna have food. It's gonna be a great time, great people. We're gonna play some you know, we're gonna get into the games too, because we all about the games. So please come through. Damn. Yeah, that's next week.
Next Wednesday. Okay,
Yeah.
bring the young folks. Tell them
Right, bring the young folks. Yes, we need them.
Yes, and that's one thing about the space too, y'all, that it's been very diverse in age. So we've had our seasoned folks come out and enjoy themselves. We've had the young folks in the space. Like, it's been diverse. Men, women. Yeah, it's been really diverse. So we need to, I love the diverse of it as well. So shout out to us. Shout out to the space. Shout out to the space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess the only other thing to announce
is our guest for the next Saturday.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shameen Clark Herbert.
Yes, Alderwoman.
Yes. Alderwoman Ward. What's our ward?
26
ward. She will be here next Monday with us, talking about a bill that she's trying to introduce. Shout out to the bill.
Shout out to the bill, ARPA coin. So and it's a lot of stuff in the bill. But the one thing that I know we kind of wanted her to talk about was, if it's passed, it would provide what's called a guaranteed basic income program for residents in the city of St. Louis. What is that given? I don't know all the deets. That's why we're gonna have her on the show so she can tell us. But yeah, it should be awesome. She'll be on next Monday, 8.
Yeah.
Also, if y'all got questions,
I'm about to say, get your questions. You're gonna get to ask her questions.
So I don't want nobody after the fact all in the comments
asking questions that we can't answer because she's no longer there. Ask them while she's on the show so you can get your question answered. Because once we got her, and when she leaves, she gonna be gone.
and Vanna and I, yes, we are well versed and all that other stuff, but we are not. We didn't write this bill. We didn't draft it. We didn't draft it. So please don't try to come at us with 3,553.
We learning like y'all learning.
So please use the time. Set a reminder on your calendar if you need to. Actually, you can set a reminder if you subscribe to this channel. We'll let you know when we go live, and you can also set a reminder. Look at that. It'll be a great conversation, so we're really excited, and we're looking forward to that next week. So
yes, thanks. Shout out to her for coming to the show.
Shout out to her. Shout out.
Yeah,
I love that. That might be extra, but I
love it. It brings the energy. The energy.
I tried. Well, y'all, that is all our show this week.
Well, y'all have a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If you don't, I hope you still eat good. I hope you enjoy your family. I hope you be safe.
Yes, be safe.
Please be safe out here, y'all. There's a lot going on, so be safe, have fun, enjoy, relax. Whatever you do it and do it well.
Yeah, what she said. Well, until next week, y'all.
Monday, same place, same time.
Yeah, be safe. Take care. Peace.